I think that they're right to uh, to disallow platforms, cross-platform meta platforms, to be built on top of the native iPhone Touch
Hmm.
and the App Store. Uh, I think just strategically looking out for the best interests of the company. I mean, the idea is the problem you could run into is, and developer name, I'm sort of stealing his argument here, but I linked to
Hmm.
it from Daring Fireball today. A developer named Louis Gerbarg posited this morning. Imagine if Flash were allowed to do this, and a year from now, let's say 10% of the apps in the App Store uh, are going through Flash rather than writing specifically through Xcode to the native SDK. And Apple wants to do something with iPhone OS 5 a year
Hmm.
from now that isn't compatible with the output right now of Adobe's Flash CS5. Well, all of a sudden, 10% of the apps in the App Store uh, can't be updated to the latest version until Adobe updates their developer tools. And we've seen this before. I mean, this is sort of what happens when, uh, you know, Apple has certainly seen it before with Mac OS 10, where there are certain things that Mac OS 10 has to continue supporting, whether they would like to stop supporting them or not.
How much do you think this screws over Adobe in a sense? Because we know it's going to damage their bottom line, right? How difficult is it going to be for them going forward? You know, their company stance is that, well, there's other applications, there's other devices beyond Apple, but Apple is gaining more and more market share virtually every week. So what happens to Adobe?
I don't know. I mean, one thing to keep in mind is Adobe is a very big company. I mean, they have plenty of products. I mean, I think, and this isn't going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. But let's just say that they just sit and announce tomorrow that they just say, you know what, we white flag, we give up on Flash. Flash is
Hmm.
done. We're going to eliminate our Flash developer tools, and we're going to ask everybody to just throw their Flash away. Just delete all the Flash everywhere in the web. Adobe is still, you know, they have plenty of other, you know, the whole CS suite does so many things other than Flash. They've got Lightroom, which is
Hmm.
it's my favorite tool for managing photos. Has nothing to do with Flash. Adobe, you know, Flash is important to Adobe, but it is, you know,
Yeah, it
it's
doesn't
not the
take them out of the
majority of
knees.
their business.
Yeah.
And that's not going to happen. Flash, no matter how badly the next few years go for Flash overall, it's not going to disappear. I mean, it has tremendous market share already, you know, and that sort of thing dwindles slowly over time.
Yeah. How would you
But in terms
characterize? Uh-huh.
of Adobe's hopes to extend what Flash and tools like Flash, like Air, I mean, which is sort of built on top of Flash. I mean, Flash developers can move to Adobe Air to write desktop apps using what they already know. To extend that sort of thing to mobile devices as a software platform, I mean, I think they're in pretty bad shape.
So would you say this is kind of an irreparable divide between Adobe and Apple at this point? How does Adobe move forward, and how would you characterize that relationship now?
Both of the iPhone OS devices, the iPhone and the iPad, don't run Flash on the web.
Hmm.
And now they're also saying we're not going to allow you to write native apps through Flash that compile to native apps. There's just no way to get, for a Flash developer to get software to these devices. Uh, I mean, unfortunately for Adobe, I mean, that they've pretty much just got to suck it.